first reaction to seeing you're playing a team that's lost one time in the last 3 to 4 months?
Don't know a lot about them other than watching the last 4 games of pre-scout. They're a very good team. There's 16 very good teams in the tournament, so that's who we're going to face on Friday afternoon, and we're going to prepare for it.
What do you remember from the last trip to Cincinnati for you guys?
You know, a couple of years ago, going into Cincinnati, you know, we faced Wisconsin, a very good team. Again, we're facing another very good team. So, like I said, we had a great day of practice yesterday. We're going to prepare the next two days before we get out to Cincinnati, and again, we're facing a very good team that has a lot of momentum right now.
We've heard both guys this morning say that perhaps they think Cincinnati may be better than opposed to playing, say, Minneapolis because of distractions. What are your views on that?
Yeah, I don't disagree with them. Again, like I said, you know, anytime that you're going into kind of the single elimination tournament that it is, there's going to be a kind of a defined focus. It doesn't matter where you go. Obviously, Cincinnati is a little bit further away, and that might bring a little bit more focus as far as outside distractions. But again, you know, this is a time of year where we built our game and built our mentality from the start of the year that, you know, like I said, it's Cincinnati, and that's where we're going, and that's where we're going to play.
Trish, I know you said you only saw a couple of their games, but from what you've seen, what's made them so successful down this back stretch of the season?
I think, you know, the depth on their team. You know, they have a very good forward group. They have a good group of puck-moving defensemen, and their goaltenders making saves at the right time for them. And, you know, they're a team that looks like a heavy team. They got strong sticks, and they play the right way. And, again, like I said, we're going to have to make sure that not only play good with the puck, we got to play good without the puck.
Their goaltender you mentioned, I mean, he's just a freshman, and he's gotten better as the season has gone on. Goals are hard to come by in the tournament, so how do you know, make him uncomfortable and kind of make his job a little tough?
It's a good question. I think you basically got to drill it down into when you get in the offensive zone, not get too fancy with extra passes. You got to get pucks to the net early, and you got to get traffic there. And again, there's no secrets at this time of year as far as how you have to play. And again, it's got to be a hard game and a hard mentality. And again, you got to keep things simple. And part of that in the offensive zone is just getting pucks to the net.
East Coast hockey versus kind of this Midwestern hard-nosed hockey can create some interesting matchups. What can you throw at them to make this game tough, to make sure you guys play your game?
Well, I think all year, you know, from the outset, the very first part of our game going in August was compete and intensity, and that's what's going to have to happen right away when you drop the puck on Friday afternoon. That's one intangible that we do have in our arsenal that a lot of teams do have, that we got to make sure that we bring it right away.
What about, I mean, Northeastern's power play's been really good as of late, too. Your penalty kills done a pretty good job the last couple games. So special teams, I mean, how important is that going to be on Friday?
It's going to be very important. I think before you get to the specialty teams, the discipline's the biggest part of it, not giving up too many power play opportunities for them. Conversely, we have to play hard to draw some penalties too, as far as making sure that our feet are moving too. So discipline's the very first part of it. The second thing is when you do get on the specialty teams, that's when there has to be an extra focus or an extra detail as far as making sure you get the job done in each one of those units.
How much is experience a factor in this series as opposed to kind of having the same scenario as previous years, losing in the NCAC and then being able to rebound in the NCAA, having to kind of redo the same thing over and over again?
Well, I think, you know, like, you know, coming off of this past weekend and you know, obviously watching the tape a couple times over and whenever you come off a weekend like we had, and again, I don't think it was a bad weekend. I think we missed offensive opportunities, whether that's hitting posts or having grade A looks. We didn't finish plays that we normally do. And again, this is a time of the year that we have to make sure that we do, because you're going to get limited scoring chances because of how tight it is. So again, it's that maniacal focus that you have to make sure that when you get an opportunity, you got to bury it. And again, you know, we're working on that this week.
Have you seen a renewed edge, an intensity at practice coming off this weekend?
Absolutely. We got on the ice yesterday, and you know, obviously, second half of the year, that's when, you know, it's a balance between working and resting, you know, obviously recharging the batteries. But yesterday there was a hunger, there was a focus, and we got after it yesterday on the ice. And right from the first drill, there was no dipping the toe in the water. They got after it right away, and we had a good day.
How do you guys make decisions on the back end? You have 7 guys that have played quite a bit this year.
Well, you know, basically it's anybody can play, just like you said. They're good enough to play. That's a good part. And teams do have depth this year. We do have it. I mean, it's a decision we're going to have to make going forward here on who's going to be in and who's going to be out. And, you know, whoever's in the lineup's going to do the job.
Anything else?
Injuries? Any updates?
Can't tell you.
Okay.
Any more? Thanks.
Hey.